This is a level 1 maths paper, past paper from the Legacy collection. So let's start looking through. What you find is, as mentioned before, a lot of these papers will have a theme that runs through certain sections of them. For example, in this case, it's going to be an ironing service. Functional skills are, to a point, meant to represent things that will happen in real life. Hence why they're called functional. So therefore, it enables you to relate them to a specific type of context. So let's just look at this question first. Ironing service. Gordon runs an ironing service. Customers put clothes in a bag. Gordon weighs the bag of clothes to work out how much to charge. The scales show the weight of the bags and the clothes. This particular instance is a matter of reading the information from the mock set of scales that we've got on here. And if we look the arrows between the 4 and the 5, we count the divisions. We have the arrow sitting on the 5th one of those. The weight will be 4.5 kilos. Always remember to ensure that you include the weight measurements, or the answer will or could actually be marked wrong. There are 10 lines between 4 kilos and 5 kilos, so just make sure you simply count the lines. Moving on. So if you just put your YouTube channel here on pause, and if you'd like to read the question, then when you thoroughly digested the question, if you press play again, and we will resume. So we need to find out how to get 20% off. Simple way of doing this: 16 divided by 100 times 20 gives us 3.2, which is our £3.20 in total. You need to remember that you include the pound sign. If not, the answer potentially will be marked wrong. On a favourite of these papers as well is they like to do reverse calculations. They term it, use the box to show it your check. So all you're doing essentially is just reversing the whole sum. So £3.20 divided by 20 times 100 brings us back to our original £16. So our theme continues with Gordon and his ironing. Put the video on pause and read the questions, please. Once you've read your questions thoroughly, please resume. So firstly, we need to work out how to do 1/2 on the calculator. That is 0.5. One to remember. We already know the price of the first 2.5 kilos, which is £12. We need to find the excess weight. So 5.5 kilos minus 2.5 kilos gives us 3 kilograms in weight. Therefore, we know that our 3 kilos here is going to be an additional £4.50, which gives us £13.50. We then add that £13.50 to 12, which gives us £25.50 in total. Therefore, Gordon is actually wrong in his assumptions. Once again, put your play on pause and read the question. Once that's done, press go again, or press play again. So what I suggest you do with your answer here is make life simple. Put everything into the same unit of weight. 1,000 kilos equals 1 kilo. So 9.5 kilos becomes 9,500 grams. 9,500 grams divided by 190 grams is 50 shirts, or 550 shirts, that's correct, 50 shirts. Gordon is ironing 50 shirts. 50 shirts times 90p, which is what the ironing place is charging, is £45. So the answer is yes to this question, as the ironing place charges £45 for work that Gordon's doing for less money. One thing functional skills tests like doing is giving you little problems to solve. And that's the way I look at maths, is it is solving a problem, which takes a lot of the fear out of it for some people. So again, what I'd like you to do first is put the recording here on pause on whichever device you're using. And if you can press play again once you have fully read the question, because there's a bit more involved in this one. So I'll rejoin you after you started play again. take your time with this one. The key to this answer is in the detail. Start at Roeditch, drive to Tippington, then to Flamden, come back to Roeditch, you drive to Padley, then finally back to Roeditch again, then add the mileage up, and there's your total. Now, with some of these tests, they do allow a little bit of flexibility. I know in this particular mark scheme, you don't necessarily have to do the Flamden, Roeditch, Padley route. You can actually do the whole route round from Flamden to Padley, which is 7 miles, and that will be accepted. But rule of thumb is always try these type of things. They say try to find the most efficient route, shortest route. Always work to that principle. But again, make sure that you include miles. Again, what I suggest you do with some of these is you may again want to put it on pause, take a screenshot, take a photograph, however you do that, and then sit down quietly at another point and actually quietly look through the question itself, and then you can see how the answers are actually constructed. So, moving on, section B. These our papers are put into sections. We have a question here. Mikhail plays football. He's preparing for a fitness test. The first test is to run 100 meters as quickly as possible. So again, what I do is just take a little bit of time to reflect, put yourself on pause and have a read of the questions, and then start play again once you've done that. So, rejoining you now. First, add up all the sides of the pitch. What we're doing is perimeter here. This is adding up perimeter. Perimeter is adding everything up around the side. So we have 68 twice, 105 meters twice, which gives us 346. 346 meters times 4 runs or laps pitch, whatever you wish to view it, gives a total of 1,384 meters. Therefore, the answer is no. He's only run 1,383 meters. Please remember, state your answers in meters or with the M in your answer, or it may be marked incorrect, and why throw marks away needlessly when you have the chance to score as much as you can. From time to time, averages come up in these papers. One of the most common ones is mean average, which is the easier one out of them all to remember. So we'll deal with mean average for the present moment in time, and that's what this question is all about. So again, press your pause button, have a read through the question, and then press play again once you've done so. So what we're doing here is we're looking for the mean average, which is add everything up and divide by number of results, i.e. 5. So we've added all our times here, and we're okay to do this because all the points are in tenths of a second, so it's fine to add time up. And we can come to that as another question in regards to time and how we have to divide in 60s. But for the moment, we add everything as it is, which gives us a total of 133 seconds, which we divide by 5, which is 26.6 seconds. So what we see here is the answer is yes at 26.6 seconds, and remember to mention seconds in your answer. So that's an example of average, and that's how you can approach it with this type of question. What they like to do as well, once you've worked an average out, is reverse calculate it. So you're showing how you've got there. So essentially what you're going to do is just reverse everything. So if you look there, you can see that I've reversed everything. Where it's been division, it's been multiplied. Where things have been added, they've been subtracted, which has brought me back to 0. So that proves that we actually have our answer correct. They also like you to do a little bit of drawing from time to time in these tests as well. So what we do is we have a graph here representing the information that's put on the table. So where it says test, A, B, C, D, and E, and time in seconds, 25.1 through the various times, we then actually have to indicate that on the graph. You have to draw the graph as well. Now what they've done here is they've partly given you the scale with 23, 24, and then you have to work out where the next divisions will actually go, which bear in mind if you look at those squares, 1, 2, 3, yep, they add the divisions up that you're going to be needing. You then have to draw the columns in, label the bottom, and then label the two columns, or the two sides, like for time, seconds, and tests, as you can see here. So what I suggest is you just take a couple of moments, put this on pause, and have a look at the graph. Perhaps again, take a screenshot so you can look at another time when you haven't got internet connection, and just digest what has actually happened here and what's been put down.